Okay, so let's look at number 7 and I think 18, because we have not done those before. For each pair of functions, find f of g. That's an open circle. You can barely tell, but that's not multiplication. That's f of g and g of f, if they exist. F of g of x. So, which function would we be looking at first if we want f of g of x?
The g of x.
The g. Okay, so that means g first. It's on the inside. So if I plug in 4, if 4 is the input to g, what is the output?
Negative 3.
So 4 goes to negative 3, and that means negative 3 would be the input to f.
Which will go to 7.
If negative 3 is the input to f,
6. Oh, 6.
its output would be 6. So that means one of the points on f of g of x, 4 is the input, 6 is the output. So 4, 6 is one of the points on f of g of x.
So f of g of x is 4, 6.
Well, that's one of the points.
One of them, because it's a whole one.
Right, that's this one.
So we can do all 4 points.
Correct.
Oh.
Now if x is 3, and we put it through the g machine,
It's actually not that bad.
what's the output? Negative 7. And then if we put negative 7 into the f function machine, that output is negative 8. So what does that mean for a point on f of g of x?
It's 3.
3, negative 8, because the input was 3 and the output was negative 8.
The next two don't.
Let's keep going. Yes, but I'll keep going.
Does that mean they're not?
F of g of x
So they're not.
means start with g, because g of x is on the inside. So 9 is my input function to g. What's my output of 8? But there's not an 8, so that one just doesn't do anything for us.
Do we have to put that?
I really don't.
Okay, this stems from an understanding of what, let me back up a second. F of g of x, what that means, hold on, shh. What that means is you plug something into the g function, and whatever you get, you plug into the f function, and then that's your output.
That makes sense.
Sometimes it's an x, sometimes it's a 2x, sometimes on the bonus it was x plus h, sometimes it's just a point.
Is there going to be another bonus?
So f of g of x is only, looks a little bit weird, it's spread out now, this one and this one. Wonder if we could. Wonder if it would look better if we did it like as a column.
We have to put them in brackets.
It would look better that way. So g of f of x. Which one comes first for g of f of x?
Oh, should we add that?
F, right? Because it's math. You start on the inside. Start on the inside parentheses. So let's see. Our f is 7, negative 3. But that means negative 3 is the input to a g function.
So you can just look at
Is there a g function that starts with negative 3?
the no.
No. So that one didn't do anything for us. The second point is negative 10, negative 3. But again, negative 3 doesn't go anywhere. There is no input of negative 3 on the g function. Negative 7, negative 8. No. And then negative 3, 6. So 6 is the output of f, meaning it's the input of g, and there's nothing there. So g of f of x does not exist. There aren't any points on g of f of x. But f of g of x, yeah, it would be nicer to write it as with the fancy looking brackets here, is 4, 6, comma 3, negative 8.
Should we put it like that on the test?
So that's the better looking answer right there. And definitely if it asks for both, tell me which one is which. A bunch of you on like number 6, like it asked for 4 things, and so you just did 4 things, but you didn't label anything. So like, how am I supposed to know which one's which? So if all you did is list those 2 points and then D and E, I don't know which one you're saying is which. So get in the habit of labeling your answers so I know that you know what you're doing.
For -3, why can't we use it if there is a -3 and before -3?
Like right here?
Yeah.
Because this needs to be the input to G. So there needs to be a -3 as the x coordinate for G. But there's not, so you're stuck. All right, you feel okay with those?
Yeah. There should be
1 audible yes and 1 head shake. Great. 2 for 30. We're ready to roll. Let's look at another one we haven't done yet. Number 18. I mean, we've done this before. It's just been a while. I'm going to graph the 2 things in different colors.
We find the shaded, common shaded.
You're looking for the common shaded area. Yep. So y is less than -3x plus 4. All right, hopefully we don't need a review on how to graph mx plus b. All right, we begin with the b. So we'll go up 4. And then our slope is -3. So down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. Or up 3 and back 1. And then before I draw this line, there's something I need to think about.
Oh, it's dotted. It's a dashed line.
It's a dashed line or a dotted line. Why?
Because it doesn't, how does that
It doesn't have an equal sign. It's the analogy of the open circle, right? I don't want to include the line because it's not equal to. So I'll do a dashed line or a dotted line, however you want to say that.
Less than 7.
And then I want all the y values that are less than.
Left.
Don't say left, because y is an up and down thing. I mean, you get the answer right, but don't phrase it that way, because y is an up and down thing.
So it's the bottom.
So I want to shade below that line. Now, shade lightly, because we're going to be looking for overlap. So either shade lightly with a pencil or just do some like stripes with colors, because the answer is going to be the overlap. So make sure if you shade the first one super dark, you can't figure out where the overlap is. All right, the next one's going to take a little bit more work because it's not solved for y yet. So 3y is greater than -x minus 6. If I divide by 3, divide everything by 3, y is greater than, I'm going to divide each of those by 3, right? If I leave it like it's written right there, that's not wrong. It just doesn't help me find m and b for mx plus b. So let's change that to -1/3 x minus 2. So we'll begin with the b, go down 2. The slope of down 1 over 3. Slope of -1/3. And you always have a nice straight edge with you because you have your ID on. Another dashed line. And where do I want to shade?
Above.
Above. I want all the y values
Darker shade. Common.
above my line. And then, yes, that's enough. If you want to get a pencil and, why don't I have a pencil up here? Here we go. Sort of darker shade, the overlap, kind of emphasize that that's the answer. And then what that means is anything in the shaded region, the darker shaded region, is a solution to both of those inequalities. So 0, 0 should work for both of them. So let's see, 0 is less than 4. Yep, that's true. And 0 is greater than negative 6. That's also true. If this was a multiple choice question, which is a solution, and you didn't have the picture, you could just plug them in. You wouldn't actually have to graph, right? You just plug them in and see which one works. Just be careful, it's got to work in both of them. Now, I already got it graphed, so I can just look at my picture and see that 3, 4 is a no and negative 2, 5 is a yes. But you can avoid, for the multiple choice question, okay, please listen, I'm trying to help you on the test. Some of you don't want help. I mean, you wouldn't say you don't want help, but your accents suggest you don't want the help. Multiple choice question, you can just plug in the point and see if it works. And again, it'd have to work for both, but that way you wouldn't have to graph the whole thing. All right, that's 2 and 18. I'll post those.